Hey besties and welcome back to my trash channel Clown Face. Also don't ask about my upload schedule, just know I won't leave you waiting for over 2 days. 2 hearts. 𝐤𝐚𝐬𝐲 on with the video. It isn't easy. Part 2. 2 a.m. Number. Omi let go. Sakuatsu clung tighter to the boy who was trying to get out of him room, not wanting him to leave. We can see each other tomorrow, okay? No. Stay over. Omi, as much as I want to, you know I can't. But I want you here. Sakuatsu dug his head into Atsumu's shoulder and pouted, making Atsumu laugh as he started to run his fingers through his hair. Yeah, just tired Omi. Come on, I'll come over tomorrow as usual. Sakuatsu groaned and bit Atsumu's neck, making the other whine. OWW. Omi. Why'd you do that? Don't leave. Omi, please. Atsumu smiled softly before walking over to Sakuatsu's bed, Sakuatsu following close behind. I'll stay until you fall asleep, okay? Sakuatsu smiled brightly before throwing himself onto his bed as Atsumu towed his shoes off of his feet with a small but loving smile on his face. He then climbed into the bed, pulling Sakuatsu's head into the crook of his neck and holding him tightly. He could feel Sakuatsu smiling into his neck, and that made him smile even wider. Yeah, always so cute when you're tired. Sakuatsu mumbled as he looked up into Atsumu's eyes, his own being half closed, and placed a peck on his chin, causing the latter to let out a laugh and kiss him on the forehead. Night baby. Eventually, Sakuatsu had finally fallen asleep and Atsumu had somehow managed to escape from his tight embrace. He was now walking down the street towards his house. Although it was late, Atsumu was never scared to walk home from Sakuatsu's house. There was a lot of street lamps and it was fairly bright for the current time. Plus he was stronger than most people, so if something did happen he would most probably stay unharmed. His family was usually asleep at these times. His grandparents stay up late, and he has been caught by them walking home this late at night before, but for some reason they always seemed to not tell his mom. Atsumu was always a little suspicious why someone so old would like to stay up as late as they did, specifically his grandma, but he never really asked questions about it. Atsumu grabbed the key that was in his pocket and quietly started to unlock his door, trying to not make any disturbances or noise. What are you doing this late at night? Atsumu physically jumped at the sound of his grandma's voice and his face went pale as he started to stutter his words. Gee grandma, so why are you at my house? Atsumu, I've seen you come home at this time countless times. What are you doing? I really craved some fatty tuna. We didn't have any in Atsumu. She looked up at the clock on the wall that she could barely see because it was dark. 2:20 a.m. Why were you even up at this time? No, why are you always up at this time? Shh, you'll wake someone up. Why are you even in my house anyways? Shouldn't you be at home? She scoffed. I saw you leaving the house earlier. Thought I'd give you a little surprise when you got home. So what have you been doing at 2 a.m? Atsumu, I just went for a walk. Needed some fresh air, I swear. She shook her head and started to walk closer to Atsumu, now noticing the obvious smell coming from him. You smell like perfume. Perfume. Atsumu thought for a moment. He hadn't used any perfume. Then he remembered that he had used some of Sakuatsu's sprays and discovered that they all didn't smell like bleach and chemicals. He had used lots of them. Glad to figure out that Sakuatsu actually had some tastes. Sakuatsu was slightly mad when he realized that he had used half of a bottle though. I haven't used any perfume. That's what they all say, Atsumu. His grandma's tone was dark and somewhat scary. He loved her, but knew that sometimes she could come across as blunt or cocky, or in how he and Osamu described it, she could never be wrong. I'm a little confused of what you're trying to prove here, grandma. Also, could you step back a little please? You're really close. She complied and took a step back, a scowl clearly falling on her face. Get to bed. We'll talk in the morning. Atsumu bit the inside of his mouth but nodded, heading up the stairs quietly. He opened the door to his bedroom and threw his bag onto his bed before shutting his door quickly. He then let himself fall down onto his bed, missing the warmth of Sakuatsu next to him. I miss you already. He smiled sadly and laughed lowly, pulling himself under his covers and wrapping his arms around his spare pillow tightly. I wish you were here. She smiled into his pillow, imagining himself hugging into Sakusa's chest and Sakusa placing kisses onto his forehead whilst running his fingers through his hair. Atsumu was always neediest once he got home from Sakusa's house. He'd miss him more, knowing that he wasn't able to be with him whenever he wanted, that their time together was always limited by homophobia and the cruelness of society. Eventually Atsumu found himself drifting off to sleep, imagining the warmth of Sakusa's arms wrapping around him. 7:30 a.m. Atsumu's eyes slowly started to open, only to be met by his plain walls in front of him. He wished he could see Sakusa's sleeping face once he woke up. He knew Sakusa wasn't much of a morning person and he found it cute. Atsumu yawned and crawled out of bed, stretching his back and walking over to his closet and grabbing his school uniform from it before walking out of his bedroom and into the bathroom to take a short shower. He watched as he felt the running water drip off his legs and down the drain. He groaned, recalling what had happened last night. Why does she care now? She has seen me come back that late before. What's changed for her to actually care now? Does she care? Or does she want something to brag about for knowing something all along? Whatever it was, it pissed him off. She was pissing him off. The only thing that was holding him back from seeing his Omi all day was her. As much as he found himself thinking negatively about her, he couldn't find himself telling her that was in a relationship with a guy. He didn't want to disappoint her. He wasn't embarrassed of Sakusa. It was quite the opposite actually. If they were out, Atsumu was pretty sure he wouldn't be able to handle not talking about him all the time. He clenched his fist and stopped the running water, before hopping out of the shower and getting changed into his school uniform. He groaned as he unlocked the bathroom door and started to walk downstairs. He saw Osamu, his mother and his grandmother sat down at the table, eating breakfast together. There was one spare chair next to Osamu with food in front of it, which he assumed was his, and sat down there. Morning. Morning, sweetie. His mother smiled sweetly at him and continued to eat her food. Morning, idiot. Morning, dog shit breath. Osamu scoffed and stuck his middle finger up, continuing to eat and ignoring Atsumu's attempts to annoy him. Atsumu simply rolled his eyes. Morning. Atsumu's eyes scrunched up slightly as he stared down at his meal. Morning. He said in a low voice, making Osamu look at him weirdly. Did something happen? What? Atsumu looked up at Osamu's curious and slightly concerned eyes. What's this? You're worried about me? Shut up. Yeah, usually just loud and obnoxious on a morning. I'm just asking. Thanks. Was that a question? Yes, it was. Why would ever be concerned for me? You know what? Forget it. You didn't hear shit. No cussing. Osamu rolled his eyes and started to eat his food again. Atsumu has a girlfriend. Atsumu's eyes went wide as he questioned if he heard what came out of his grandma's mouth correctly. Girlfriend? What made her make that assumption? And why? Why would she bring it up now, in front of his family? Why not ask him in private? Osamu almost choked on his food, laughing, and their mother waited for some extra information from their grandma, confused. What? He has a girlfriend. Atsumu stared down at his food, pissed off. He didn't have a girlfriend and never will. Why is his grandma spreading such lies? I don't. Atsumu spoke sharply, lifting his head up. You don't have to lie about it, Atsumu. I know you do. I don't. So I'm struggling to figure out what makes you think I do. She smiled brightly, happy at her own news. You have a girlfriend and didn't tell us. She spoke happily and somewhat shocked while Osamu was still trying to comprehend what bullshit he had just heard. You could see the confusion plastered all over his face. I don't know why you decided to hide it from us for so long. Again. What makes you think I have a girlfriend? Osamu could sense the anger in his voice, but didn't understand why he was so mad. Sure, he didn't believe that Atsumu actually had gotten a girlfriend, but could get why he was so angry at being accused of having one. Atsumu, don't lie. You sneak out late every day and you reeked of perfume yesterday. Atsumu went silent. You sneak out. Caught him coming home at 2 a.m. yesterday, or I guess you could say today. Atsumu scoffed. His love life had nothing to do with her and he was half tempted to just scream that he had a boyfriend right then and there. Atsumu is a baby. No way a girl could handle him. Atsumu turned to look at Osamu with an unamused expression, half glad he had said it but not so happy with the insult. Gee. Thanks. Yeah, welcome. Wait. You sneak out every day. Atsumu went silent again, not knowing what to say. So you do. Oh my god. What's the lucky girl's name? Atsumu furrowed his eyebrows. Did they not listen to a word he and Osamu had said? Atsumu banged his arm on the table aggressively, before standing up. Sorry, but I'm going to school. Bye. Wait. Atsumu had already left, leaving a confused Osamu who decided to eat the food that Atsumu had left. Atsumu grabbed his bag off of the countertop and quickly started to run out of the door. That boy. 7:30 p.m. Atsumu had just arrived at Sakusa's house after sneaking out his house when his mother was distracted watching TV. Sakusa's parents had just left for work around half an hour ago, so they were alone, sitting in Sakusa's living room and cuddling on the couch. I missed you, said Atsumu noises. Sakusa laughed and kissed Atsumu on the forehead. I missed you too. Sakusa ruffled Atsumu's hair slightly, noticing the frown on his face, then frowning himself slightly. What's wrong, baby? Atsumu hummed angrily and dug his head into Sakusa's chest. He smiled slightly when he started to receive kisses from the boy holding him. Grandma. Atsumu groaned and lifted his head up slightly to meet Sakusa's loving gaze that made his heart melt. She told my mom that I am. Atsumu bit the inside of his mouth. A girlfriend. Sakusa raised an eyebrow, confused. I'm not cheating, I swear. Sakusa smiled. It had never crossed his mind that Atsumu would ever cheat on him. I know. Atsumu smiled and kissed Sakusa on his chin. She seems to think you're my girlfriend, I guess. Ha. They both laughed. Well, she had spotted me coming home late before. I guess today she just wanted to confront me. You know how I used that spray. Sakusa scoffed and shook his head. Atsumu giggled. She thought it was perfume. I guess she just assumed I was meeting up with a girl. I don't know. She thought you were meeting up with a girl, because I have tastes. Atsumu laughed and sat up on the sofa. Barely. Shush you. You seem to have some liking to the smell of bleach. Yeah, weird. Sakusa rolled his eyes before throwing himself at Atsumu. 𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐿. Sakusa rested his head on Atsumu's chest and wrapped his arms around his waist. She's just dumb. Take no notice of her. If she keeps pressuring you about it, we'll work something out. I swear. Atsumu smiled fondly. Love ya. Sakusa stood up and poked Atsumu on the nose. Love you too. But I need a shower. Sakusa started to walk away from the living room, leaving a pouting Atsumu. He stood up and started to follow him, and once he caught up to him, he wrapped his arms around Sakusa's shoulders. Don't leave. Atsumu rested his head on the back of Sakusa's neck, placing light kisses on it. Sakusa smiled and turned around to face the fake blonde and placed a kiss on his lips. You're being such a baby today. Only for you, daddy. Sakusa's voice was caught in his throat as he tried to comprehend what Atsumu had just said. No. Don't call me that. Not right now. Atsumu smirked and snaked his arms around the latter again. Right now. Literally get out. You know what I meant. Sakusa rolled his eyes and continued to walk to his bedroom. Atsumu followed close behind. He then opened the door to his bedroom and walked straight to his bathroom. Oh my. What now? Sakusa turned around and Atsumu came and hugged him again. Sakusa smiled. No, stay here. Achu. Let me shower with you. Sakusa went silent for a moment before speaking again. Fine. No kinky stuff though. Atsumu smiled giddily and pushed Sakusa into the bathroom. Yes. It's just a shower, Achu. Chill out. Shut up. Eventually the two got into the shower. Atsumu basically just clung to Sakusa the whole time whilst he was trying to wash himself. Oh my god, why are you so clingy today? He made it seem like Atsumu was annoying him, but Atsumu knew full well that Sakusa was enjoying it as much as he was. Love you too. Sakusa shook his head and then smiled, embracing the other. Yay. Love you. But can I actually wash myself now? No. 2 a.m. Eventually Sakusa managed to get a shower and they cuddled up on Sakusa's bed for a while, binge watching Netflix and just talking until Atsumu had to go. He was now walking down the street to his house, pouting. He didn't want to leave yet and he decided that he was going to FaceTime Sakusa as soon as he got home. He grabbed his key out of his pocket and slowly started to unlock his door. A sense of deja vu hitting him as soon as he opens it, but this time worse. ... I told you. Atsumu tried to ignore them, but he didn't blame his mother if she was worried. Why are you going out this late? Atsumu stayed silent, not knowing how to answer, instead just standing by the door awkwardly. I'm telling you, he's meeting that girlfriend of his. Atsumu furrowed his eyebrows. Could she just drop the girlfriend thing? His grandma's lips formed a smile. Atsumu could tell she was only happy at the thought of being right about something, even though she wasn't right. Atsumu, do you have a girlfriend? Atsumu scoffed. It wasn't any of their businesses. Why do you care? You're my son Atsumu. Of course I'm going to be worried about where you're going, late at night like this. Atsumu frowned. She did have a valid point, but he didn't want to tell her anything quite yet. Please don't worry, I'm perfectly fine ma. Atsumu. So you do have a girlfriend. Atsumu pulled an unamused expression. Does this woman only care about being right? He decided to just own up kinda. Yes, I have a girlfriend. His grandma's eyes lit up and Atsumu could feel himself feeling slightly ill. Why didn't you tell us? Because you guys obsess over this type of stuff. I didn't want you guys interfering with my relationship. Atsumu. Why have you been going out late to meet her then? I like to see her whenever I can. Even if it is at 2 a.m. Atsumu hated how his and Sakusa's relationship had to be a big secret, and the use of the words her and she physically made him want to be sick. So do we get to meet her? Atsumu and his mother both looked at her with a look that said, are you serious right now? Yeah, joking right? I just said I didn't want you guys interfering. Well, since we can't meet Osamu's girlfriend, I would like to meet yours Atsumu. Why are you guys so defensive about them? Because I love her. I don't think she would be comfortable with meeting you guys quite yet, okay? Chiyo shook her head disappointedly, something that Atsumu always hated. It would only be awkward for the first meet. She has anxiety. It doesn't work like that. Why not? Do you have no education on mental illnesses? Mental illnesses? Why would you date someone with mental illnesses? The fuck did you just say? Atsumu was very visibly angry. What does that question even mean? He loved Sakusa no matter what. Just because he has a few mental issues doesn't change how much he loves him. Excuse me. Who the fuck do you think you are? Atsumu. Calm down. Atsumu furrowed his eyebrows and walked past them into his house. I'd still like to meet her. No way you're meeting her after what you just said. Atsumu. Please. It will make us happy, knowing that you're happy with someone. Atsumu scoffed. It definitely won't make me or her happy. So when would we get to meet her? Bitch. Never. Atsumu smiled wide and fake. Please. It only has to be once. Atsumu bit his lip and subconsciously said something he regretted straight after. His mother's sad tone broke his heart and he could never say not to it. He didn't blame his mother for wanting to meet her. He knows that she just wants to feel included in his life. She never will and never has liked being pushed away by her own children. She had always had a hard time letting them go off into the big world and letting them discover new things on their own. She had always wanted to be there for every step of their life. But she also had to learn that that wasn't going to be possible. Fine. Soon ma. Chiyo's eyes lit up. Atsumu didn't quite understand what he had just gotten himself into, but knew that it wasn't going to be good. Thank you so much Atsumu. Atsumu smiled one last time at his mother before jogging up the stairs and into his bedroom, closing the door behind him. What had he just gotten himself into? 3 a.m. Atsumu sat on his bed for a while, contemplating what to do, when a thought pops up in his head. He wasn't so fond of the idea, but knew that it would solve all of his problems. Well, kinda. He picked up his phone from his nightstand and opened his and Sakusa's private messages. Atsumu's phone. Inomi face with medical mask. Volleyball. And Achu face with medical mask. Yellow heart. Is private messages. Omi. Are you awake? Probably not. Well, good night Omi. Love ya. Atsumu his phone down next to him until his phone lit up again. One new message from Omi face with medical mask. Volleyball. Atsumu smiled and giddily opened his phone. Hey baby boy 2 hearts. You okay? Omi. Simp emojis. Hey baby red heart. Omi. Atsu. Omi. Yes Achu baby 2 circling hearts. Why can't you call me that when we are together? Face with big pleading eyes. Just because. Anyways, you okay? Well. What's up baby smiling face with hearts. ... Well I basically told my family that I have a girlfriend. ... Achu. And they want to meet her. Atsumi you idiot. I'm sorry. Don't worry baby. We're going to be fine okay? We can figure something out 2 hearts. Well I've already come up with an idea. What is it baby? I don't like the sound of it though. And neither will you. Baby I will do anything to be with you smiling face with hearts. Really? Of course. Now go on. How would you feel if I got a fake girlfriend? ... End of part 2. Hope you enjoy. Hey besties, hope you enjoyed the video. Firstly, join my Discord server, link in the description. Also my upload schedule is kinda dead, but I promise that I will never leave you guys waiting for a video for over 2 days. So yay. Okay bye I guess.